Hey YouTube fam, and welcome back to my channel. I have to apologize because I've actually been really bad with my content recently, and I've had a lot of people asking me to do my follow-up and kind of my final thoughts on my journey with Your Smile Direct. So if you've been following me or have been watching my videos on adult invisible braces, then I just wanted to record this especially for you because I've had quite a lot of people messaging me on Instagram and asking me to post my final review. First and foremost, in the comments box below, I will post the link to video 1 and video 2 so you can see my journey with Your Smile Direct. And also, if you want to see any upcoming videos, then please subscribe so that you can watch anything that I do upload. I have started to do a lot more Instagram lives, so make sure you also follow me on Instagram because I feel like I'm posting a lot more content on there. Even though I have recently featured in the Your Smile Direct advertisements and everything else, this was after I had purchased the braces, the invisible braces, and done my treatment, and I paid the full amount all by myself. It was not sponsored. They just chose to post some of my reviews because they felt they were genuine. The biggest thing being an adult who's had braces as a child is that nobody wants to go back to fixed braces. So this is a really good timely way of getting straight teeth without all the hassle of visiting the dentist and having those horrible ugly train tracks fitted on your teeth. When I was younger, I had braces for 2 years, and after the 2 years the dentist or orthodontist said that I could have them taken out. But then when it got to the 2 years, he actually said I needed them for a year longer. I found it really hard as a child for a number of reasons to have braces on top of a lot of other things that I had. So my mum was adamant that I should have them taken off and that my teeth were straight enough. So I did have them taken out, and I didn't have a retainer given to me, and because of that my teeth eventually, when my wisdom teeth grew, just crowded and really spaced up, particularly my bottom teeth. So that was my biggest issue. My front 4 teeth, you couldn't even tell that there was 4 of them because they crowded so much that it looked like there were like 2.5 teeth, and I never thought that there was enough even space in my mouth for them to uncrowd and look as straight as they do now. As I got to about the age of 27, 28, I decided to go for invisible adult braces. I did lots of research into lots of different companies. The first and biggest company that I came across was Invisalign, and that's the one that I know a lot of people have used and have gone for. Unfortunately, the quote that Invisalign were giving me were like over £3,800. Some of them were going up to £4,500, and it was just not an affordable option for me. So I was trying to look for other alternatives to see if there was anything that was out there that was a bit more affordable. I came across Your Smile Direct online, and I was looking at their Instagram page, which is where I found them. But there weren't many reviews that weren't from like massive influencers. It all just seemed a bit too good to be true to me. With my YouTube channel, I think the biggest thing for me has been posting and uploading content which makes a difference to the day-to-day person, which is why I actually decided to go ahead and purchase the invisible braces from Your Smile Direct to actually see if they did work and to give other people the opportunity and the confidence to see whether it actually is worth it. It's hard when you're a normal person looking on YouTube or social media and you can't tell whether the reviews are genuine or not, and that is exactly why I wanted to go ahead with them. Secondly, I'll go through the process. So I went onto yoursmiledirect.com, logged in, and then at the time, so this was like a year and a half. So they've developed quite a lot in their technology since, but at the time what you had to do was call it impressions kit. So they send that to you in the post, and it's just like little molds, and then you have to fit them into your teeth, and then you send them back, and they give you like a digital imaging of your treatment, how long it's going to take, and the costs, etc. So that is what I did like a year and a half ago, like I said. But what they do now is they actually have smile clinics, and you can go and visit the smile clinic, and they will just do like a scan for you, and then they will do the projection of what your treatment will be and how long it will be and what your teeth will look like there and then, which is a lot better, I think. So props to them for upgrading their technology. The option I would probably go for is the small clinic option. There are only 4 or 5 around the country, so you want to make sure that you book in far in advance so that you know that you can get the date that you need. So then the second thing that I did was I waited for my treatment plan to come back. So my treatment plan came back. I was happy with what they were showing me. And then I paid the full amount, and then I waited for my retainers to come through. I keep calling them retainers because they look like retainers, but I mean like my braces, the invisible braces. It took a really long time, and I don't feel that I was very involved in the process or the updates of when I was going to receive them. So I was just like waiting and waiting and waiting. And obviously I had just paid £1,200, so I was panicking a bit that I just paid my money and I hadn't received anything. I was contacting people and I wasn't hearing back, or I was hearing back 2 or 3 days after, but then they eventually came. So I wore the braces for about 20 hours a day. They do say 22 hours a day, but I just found it really hard, and I love food. So every time they're like, I see loads of people writing online, oh, I feel like I eat less because I've got invisible braces. I wish I did eat less. I really have not been eating less. And you do realise that it is a pain to take them out and eat and put them back in, and that is a downfall, but it's totally worth it for straight teeth. It can be painful for a maximum of 24 to 36 hours, I would say, when you change trays. So I'm not gonna lie about that. I was a firm believer of no pain, no gain. You're not gonna get the results if your teeth do not move. So you have to kind of just literally grin and bear it. I was on a 6-month treatment plan. I was given, it wasn't even 6 months actually, it was like 5. I ended up being on 6 months. So at the time I was given 10 sets of braces. So how it works is you wear each set for 2 weeks, or whatever your prescribed amount of time is, depending on your treatment plan. So I had to wear them for 2 weeks each. I went through 10 sets. My results were great, but I had a little bit of a nag, and it was literally the teeniest detail. At the bottom was slightly pushing in, just slightly, and you couldn't see it, but I could feel it from behind where my tongue is. And the same with these teeth here at the top. They were just, these two were just slightly back compared to my front 2 teeth, and I could feel it, but I know that you couldn't see it. Spending quite a lot of money on a treatment to improve something. If you're not happy, then you do have to let them know. And the great thing about Your Smile Direct is they asked me to do like another impression, and I actually went into the clinic to do that, and then they reviewed against what my results should be, and they actually gave me a further 2 sets of invisible braces. This is where the process kind of slowed down slightly. So I'd obviously had the issue with the customer service and how long it took for people to reply to me back then. And then I got back in contact with like the main person that I was asked to contact to say, look, I need to have a review. Can you help me? He was great. He booked me in for a small clinic appointment so that I could have the kind of electric imaging done, etc., so that they could tell me there and then what needed to be done. So I booked in. I actually happened to be in London that day for work, so I booked in to go straight after. And I showed up to my clinic appointment and I was told that the machine had broken. So the thing that I was irritated about was I could have just done the home impressions kit a few weeks before and I would have already maybe had my impressions, but because they didn't let me know the machine was broken, that didn't happen. So when I got there, I actually had to have the impressions kit thing done to me while I was there, which I could have done myself, so it was a bit of a waste of time for me. I did get to speak to somebody in customer services to kind of just explain my feedback on my customer service with them and my experience and how slow I found it was getting through to people at Your Smile Direct. Obviously because I had to do the impressions kit, Again, I had to wait another few weeks before I actually got the results, and I think because I was so towards the end of my treatment, I just wanted to finish it and I was getting a little bit fed up. However, I eventually did get my final 2 sets of braces, and I have worn them, and now I have finished my treatment and I am on to retainer time. Make sure you wear your retainer. Like I said, I'm wearing my retainer for about 20 hours a day for 6 months. So I've been wearing them for 2 months. I've got another 4 to go. And then after that, I will only be wearing them at night. Like with any other process with braces or teeth, your teeth move so quickly. Like if I don't wear my retainers for a couple of hours and I put them in, I can feel that they feel tight because my teeth have already started to move back into place. Your teeth have really, really, really good memory. So they go back to what they were like instantly. So you have to make sure that you wear your retainer as prescribed. People who are asking me for befores, I hated my teeth before and I never showed them in pictures, so I'm really sorry, but there's a limited amount that I can show you of a before. So I am actually not wearing anything right now. I actually had a comment from a follower on YouTube who has asked me to do some close-ups. And as you can see, I have no invisible braces in at present. My front teeth, like there's so much room that there's actually a little bit of a gap here now. A few little gaps which I've read that people get, but you're going to get that when your teeth space out, and it's nothing major. Like you cannot tell at all, and I don't think other people can tell. It's just me that notices that, particularly when I'm flossing. I was focusing so much on my bottom teeth that I didn't realize that my top teeth weren't actually that straight either, and now they are really straight. They weren't bad, but they weren't amazing either, and now I feel like it's made such a big difference. The other thing is there is a free whitening kit that you get after. I've not started to use it, which is great, a great freebie. The thing was done practically virtually. Also, I've gone back to my own dentist and he knows that I've been having the treatment like in between having my checkups and stuff with him, and he has said that my teeth have had amazing improvement, which is great hearing from him. I also find that the hygiene of my teeth has been so much easier because the teeth aren't overlapping anymore. Cost for me was really reasonable. I know lots of people who spend lots of money on things like Invisalign. I wanted to have a treatment that was of a high standard but still allowed me to cut costs where possible. I think Your Smile Direct really allowed me to do that, and I think £1,200 is a very reasonable price to pay to feel a lot more happier and confident with your smile. I feel like I open my mouth fully wide now when I'm talking. I am a lot smilier in pictures, and I think one of the comments that I've had back since is that people didn't actually used to see me smiling with my teeth and they do now, and they think it looks so much better, and I totally agree with you. I think the results have exceeded my expectations. I didn't really have anything in my head, but for years it was in the back of my mind that I just wanted my teeth to look straighter. And now I'm so happy that I decided to go ahead with the treatment, and I'm happy for all the people that I know have looked into Your Smile Direct and actually gone to them since, and that I could contribute to making your decision, because that is the whole point of my videos. If you are looking at them and you're not sure, I would totally recommend you go to them. Yes, there were some drawbacks with the customer service, but I think it's lots of stuff that they have improved on and continue to improve on, so I wouldn't let that put you off. I'm totally happy with my smile journey and hope that you will join it too. If you've got any questions, then get in touch, but otherwise, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.